Welcome to another Writer's Morning Commute. So we've got a lovely spread of different weathers this week. Had a nice foggy Tuesday and a beautiful sunny morning Wednesday, and now we've got a rainy Thursday commute today. So I apologize if the sound of the wipers is annoying or the air blowing gets obnoxious. Hopefully it all goes okay. Today's topic that I'll be discussing was based on a post someone put onto the r/writing subreddit. R/writing is a pretty good community for writers. It's the one I'm most involved in. Definitely not perfect, but it's helped me to grow a lot. There was one post yesterday, and it was 6 writing tips from some author. I apologize, I don't remember his name. But one of his tips was to write for an audience of 1. Whenever you're sitting down to write, don't think of your audience as this mass of faceless strangers. You know, don't imagine it as a group of people who you don't know, or maybe who you do know, kind of. Like, don't imagine, like, oh, the people at Comic-Con as your audience. Not even that. That's still too vague. Because you'll get into situations where you're writing, or you're outlining, or whatever, and you won't know which way to go. You'll say, well, these people might prefer this, and those people might prefer that. I don't want to, turn away the people who hate romance, or the people who can't stand cliche, whatever. Everyone has different tastes. And even going down to an audience of 2, you're going to get in situations where if you try to write to, even 2 different people's tastes, it's going to be problematic sometimes. This was a rule. So essentially the idea is you pick one single person, not yourself, just one person who you know really well, whose taste in writing you appreciate, or who kind of embodies your ideal reader, and you just ask yourself, what would that person want to hear? What would that person like to see? And this is a rule that I hadn't really realized, I guess, other people thought about. I personally, one of my best friends is kind of my co-fantasy reading buddy. We're the only 2 people I know who use Audible, and we had other friends who we were reading Wheel of Time with as Wheel of Time was coming out in high school at the end of the series. But we were the 2 who were, I don't know if we were the most into it, but we were the most into fantasy in general. And we were the 2 who kind of, continued to read stuff and were willing to, enjoy things a bit more. Whereas other people, I'll leave comments about other people's tastes aside, but we liked fantasy. That's what we did. That's what we loved. That's what we read. And so, as I developed as a writer, an interesting thing I found started happening, and that was that, as, for instance, the one thing that really embodied this moment was we were discussing Bands of Mourning, the Mistborn novel by Brandon Sanderson. And I had read it, and I was telling him that, I thought it was pretty good. Probably just okay by Sanderson standards. I was a little unimpressed, ultimately. And I was sad, but I didn't feel it was as good as some of his more recent works. Felt like it was a little bit of a step down. And I had these issues with the writing, and I had those issues with the characterization, and I had these issues with how the plot developed. And I was giving it like, multiple stars. I'd say it was like maybe a 3-star book out of 5, or maybe a 7-star out of 10. And he was just confounded by this. And he was, saying, but I mean, sure, maybe those things are true, but do you remember this part? Do you remember that part? This twist, that plot point, like, that was awesome. It was cool when he did that. It was awesome when we found out this. And as he was saying that and getting excited, I was like, you're right. It was awesome when that happened. That twist was really cool. So I kind of realized that I needed to let go of my writer instincts and stop looking for, what I've been trained to think of as good writing. And instead I try to focus on writing for that one friend. I try to put in awesome moments that will get my reader excited, and using those rules of writing to support that awesome ideas and good characterization. So that'll be it for today. Thank you very much, and have a good day.